I
And we
feel,
should be live
I
now.
feel a little set aside.
I should probably open up chat here.
Yep.
Yeah, I can't keep it loaded, so I'm not even gonna do it this week.
Oh, look. Oh, well.
I wonder if that would work better through
month.
Explorer, so it's not in the same browser or something.
I don't know. That international is going on right now, so Twitch is gonna be absolutely blown up all day.
International what now?
The Dota 2 international.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, fuck it.
It's been super good this year.
Nice. Okay. I feel like I forgot something I played. I did like a 16-hour day of gaming yesterday. It was amazing.
Damn.
Yeah. Fiance was at a bachelorette party and I got up at like 8 in the morning. I was like, well, I guess I know what I'm doing today.
It's nice to have that amount of trust in somebody that you're not concerned about anything.
Oh, nothing at all, man. No problems whatsoever. The bachelorette party she went to was for my best man's fiance, so I got nothing. I'm not a jealous guy either. Like I know, you
No,
know.
I'm not either, but after like hour 8, you're like, oh, the fuck is going on?
I haven't heard from her at all. Oh god.
Oh, what's happening? And all you have in your mind, she's like, ah.
Well, so she
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 got
went
kidnapped
from-
in Mexico.
So they did God, what was it? So she works on Saturday mornings, but after that she went to I dropped her off so that she didn't have to drive or anything, and they went to Medieval Times up in Schaumburg with a bunch of people.
Nice.
Yeah.
Lightning bolt, lightning bolt. 2 damage, 2 damage.
And then, like, the place that the party was at is like 10 minutes from our place, so.
So if curiosity did arise, it's 2 minutes down the road.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh wait, I didn't show you Boston.
Hmm.
Oh, God damn it. Hold on, let's go.
What? What? Oh.
Whoa.
It's going
Yeah, now it's
6
you're
to midnight
expecting when
here.
That is fancy.
not when you are expecting the camera to pan down to a keyboard.
Yeah, no, that's a
Glad it did, though.
hot looking keyboard.
You know what? It's not bad. Actually, you can kind of set the touchpad for desktop shortcuts.
Oh, cool.
Oh, that's nice.
Like, so I want to watch Spike. I hit the eclipse, change the function. It's literally just like right on the touchpad. You flip through the three
Like
whatever.
presets.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
presets, and they got kind of cool icons too.
Very slick.
I do like the slider on the one side for volume.
Hmm.
Like it's just you like see.
No, nice.
It's slimline and it's really sturdy on the desktop. Like for like usually like those slimline keyboards, feel like you're typing on chick lace.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or like it's rattly.
Yeah, well I mean you know what Staytech sounds like. Well yeah, I mean
Enhance.
And hence, I should dig out my my Razer keyboard again, see if maybe because I think the power supply issues I was having on my old PC may have affected that keyboard. Like it didn't work right. It would just stop working like halfway through a game or something. I'd have to like unplug it and replug it in.
That's weird.
Yeah, it drove me nuts, and that's why I stopped using it and picked up this thing. But if it was a power supply, I could probably start using it again and not assault the microphone whenever I type something.
but yeah, surprisingly like the old Eclipse or not Eclipse but whatchamacallit.
Microsoft Ergo.
Yeah, the Ergo Bluetooth was phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
And those all the buttons across the top like worked instantly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And the stupid scroll wheel on this side was awesome.
Yeah.
yeah.
But no, I'm a fan. So it's nice to have a wired keyboard. Now I have no lag and button inputs.
Yeah, I would. I don't know. For like a desktop, I don't think I would ever go wireless. I could see it for like just convenience sake on a laptop, but
Out of all the things, because I mean, obviously I have the matching mouse, but
yeah,
I've got a
the
wireless on mine now, and I love it.
they've gotten a lot better than when we started playing with wireless.
Oh yeah,
yeah, that's true.
I've gone with these Logitech ones, and those are great.
Yeah,
The Bluetooth, I mean that Bluetooth set of mouse and keyboard probably one of my favorites because they stopped making mice like this that had like the big. I mean, it fits my paw nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the other part of the reason I go wired for at least mice because my hands are large. I got the I can't. There it is.
Let's slap some kitten
Come on.
mittens on them.
Oh, I don't know if you guys have seen the mouse
G400.
that I have. Let me see if I can drag this guy over here.
Well,
Is
I
it
can't,
The,
can't see it.
rat,
Camera.
the Rat 7.
Ooh,
Yeah,
That's fancy
This thing
looking.
is, a VW Bug is smaller than this thing.
I was
P-Flex
thinking
in
about picking
chat wants to know, Hannah, if those are new drapes covering the window.
they are not.
The
They are the
window treatment
same
ties the room
things.
together.
It's true.
Yeah, makes it look like a funeral home in here. We have these downstairs, and we had them upstairs until oh man, the night we took those down was bad because they're so old that everything's put up there with flathead screws.
Great.
Oh,
So trying to pull those down was like twist, 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 slip, fuck, twist, twist, twist,
Yeah.
slip.
oh, wait till you get into the reamed out that you have like this much play in
Oh,
every
yeah.
screw.
Yeah.
Because they don't make those out of nice metal.
Was angry.
All right, you guys ready to start? I got a bunch of editing to do today.
Cool. Let's
Oh,
go.
did you record Pop today too?
No, yesterday.
Um,
Alrighty, let's get started here in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to another episode of That Video Game Podcast. I'm your host, Boston. Over there's Knobs.
yo.
And over there is the Hannah.
What up?
Friendly reminder that a new episode of Picking Up the Pixels is out today. Episode 025, where we talk a lot about SMT4. So, won't be talking much about that today. But before I get to what I've been playing, Knobs, what have you been playing?
It's been a kind of crazy week for me, so I really didn't get that much time into playing other than just kind of relaxing and just kind of listen to music and play a whole bunch of Free Cell.
Yep.
Mind you, I'm up to 82 wins right now
Nice.
in a row.
Ooh,
But-
fancy.
But Monday Night Game Night happens like it does everything. You could tell what time of the year it is by it. It is. I lost again, so that's two. I've lost 2 out of the last 3.
Can't win
Not
them all.
happy. Not happy about that. Even though they were riding me pretty hard, calling me Mr. 78, because that was my winning percentage up until 78.3 was my winning percentage up until that night. I don't know what knocked me down to, but hey, I'm pretty sure I'm still in the 70s.
Given the number of games that have been played, you're probably at like 78.1.
But no, we had a good time. We had some lag issues, and I immediately said, "Hey, how about that lag, or how about that host advantage?" And yeah, so we had a whole bunch of yucks. I think I ended up losing Donnie for like the back half of that match, so we were kind of shorthanded on my team. But it was funny. Scott gets on my team, and it's the first week I lose in a while. So I'm obliged to reset the clock again, and let's go. That's 10 p.m. EST. Join us. It's an absolute riot.
Yep.
Most of the stuff ends up on the live stream, and being a part of that madness live, I'm sure, is a lot better than watching it. So please come join us. We can always find room for somebody. And the only other game I played other than Free Cell this week is I got into a little bit of Rise of the Triad.
Oh, yeah.
I still haven't found dog mode yet.
It'll happen. You can't
But
force
that-
dog mode.
That castle is awesome.
Yeah.
Like it throws you back into the mindset of Spear of Destiny and Return to Castle Wolfenstein.
Yeah.
Like just like the real low ceilings and then the big wide expanses, and
Yeah.
it's awesome. That game is, like I said last week, it's just wicked fast.
Yeah.
And as the quarters get tighter, the game gets even faster, and you're getting ambushed by so many enemies. It's a riot. I'm trying to play through it without cheating.
Yeah.
Once, because that kind of became the norm for first-person shooters for a long time for me,
Yeah.
especially in what's it called? The last one I beat, I think, was Return to Castle Wolfenstein. I beat that on medium difficulty, and that game was maddening hard
Yeah.
towards the end. Once you start getting like the armed dudes with the Tesla coil ripping around the bottom of them,
Oh, yeah.
kind of like they were like the demon knockoffs,
Mm-hmm.
or the demon prototypes, but they were electric. And then the Uber Soldats or whatever they were called.
Whatever fake sounding German they had in that game.
Yeah, Uber. I think that's what turned me off against the word Uber because I hate it. I hate that word so much. When anyone says Uber, I just want to be like, I hate you, you
Oh, that night
hipster
was Uber
doofus.
fun.
Oh,
You hipster d-bag. Just want to.
You're being Uber aggro.
I want to rip your tongue out so you can never say that word again
Totes.
and speak for
to
serious.
be fair, I don't think you need the tongue to say Uber. I don't think it's
Well,
required.
now we have to find something.
I want him to sound like a seal when I'm done. But anyway, I digress. But no, Rise of the Triad, if you haven't played it or checked it out, I think there's a demo up on Steam that's free.
Yeah.
It's classic. If anything encapsulates that word as a classic shooter, it's everything the way Duke Nukem should have been.
Yeah. Did you find any cool new weapons or anything?
No, not yet. I haven't found the drunk missiles yet. I got a little chain gun for a little bit, but
Nice.
that runs out of bullets, which sucks. It shoots way too fast. It's just like, and then
400 bullets.
yeah, it's like one of the guns in Borderlands that shoots all its bullets at once.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, those are always fun though. It's like, oh, I'm gonna equip this,
But-
and you don't check it first, and then you shoot
Yeah.
and go, oh,
Ammo.
Oh,
Oh,
guess
I
I'm
can't stop,
reloading now.
I can't stop shooting. Oh wait,
Yeah.
no, I'm empty. All right, double akimbo pistolas again. Ever. It's cool. It is really cool. I don't think there's multiplayer in it.
There is, but they call it something weird.
Yeah. I don't know. I think that game would be fun co-op.
Oh yeah.
Just to explore those areas, just so more people can fan out. Hey, check this out. Hey, check this out.
One of those things. where
Because the
someone's
game
on top
funnels
of a
you so
building.
quickly through these levels that it almost feels like, yeah. It's not like you have a wall of death behind you, but you feel like you do.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. It's
It
crazy.
sounds like
I'm
one of
so
those-
happy playing this.
it sounds like one of those co-ops where you would have to not have friendly fire.
Oh, for sure.
Oh no, there's no way
No.
you would survive.
Someone is shooting a wall of flaming death at somebody, and next thing you know, you have 3 charred skeletons in front of you.
Yeah,
But literally, like one of the first things it was like that weapon is like one of the first ones you come across where you don't realize what it does until you miss, and you're like,
It's just like,
wait, so I shouldn't be shooting them. I should be shooting in front of them.
yeah,
yeah.
It just goes poof.
yeah.
It looks cool. It looks real cool. It kind of makes me want to go back and play. Oh, excuse me. Return to Castle Wolfenstein again because I remember that game just looking stellar, and I wonder what
Yeah.
that would look on the computer now.
Yeah, what year did that come out? Wasn't that like 2004? 2002?
I thought it was earlier than that. I thought it was
Oh.
around 2000. Yeah, I think 2002, 2001.
I think that was
Yeah.
one of the games where I think you sort of realized that id and Raven still had it. Where you fired up that game, even on a kind of a crappy machine, you're like, oh, ooh,
Well,
my
that
computer
was-
can do this?
You're right. That was back in the day where you could, I think Windows 95, where you could actually shut down every non-essential part of your
Yeah.
computer to give you that extra memory and extra
Yeah.
RAM
You're
space.
opening up
You could-
a task manager, and it's like, well, I don't need Windows, and I don't need this. And
Yeah. You know what? Well, at that point, after you're going through this, why can't I just run this in DOS? That was going through your head.
oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You remember those?
Yeah, let me just boot in a safe
Where
mode.
you just ran it through DOS and everything ran better in DOS.
Oh, yeah.
Let's just shut down Explorer.exe and run the exe for the game from the command line, and it'll all be okay.
Yeah.
You get all that memory back. You get all that processing power back. It'll be great.
But what they did, I was pushing that thing to the max to the point where you can count the teeth, and that was on I think a Pentium 2
Yeah.
with the NVIDIA TNT2 video card, and back
Yeah.
then that was the hottest.
Yeah.
In my Ford Motor Company HP.
yeah.
But yeah, it was a sick game, and I'd really like to play it again because
Yeah.
that was one of the few games that actually got it right.
Yeah, that
And
game
I'm-
was great.
I'm really looking forward to the more I'm trying not to get super excited for the new Wolfenstein, but I am super excited for the new Wolfenstein.
I mean, at the very least, it'll probably be campy.
Yeah, I don't know because Return was so serious.
Yeah, that's true.
It was so serious.
I think the original-
it pulled it off well.
I think the original 3D was meant to be serious, too. But
I don't think they can get around being campy at that point in video games.
yeah,
Yeah.
Like it was almost niche and whatever it was.
yeah.
But yeah, and like the more I'm playing Rise of the Triad, the more I am frothing at the mouth for the new Wolfenstein.
Oh man, has a release date been announced for that?
I don't
I
think
don't
so. I
know.
thought it got bumped back to next year. To 2014.
It's in our 2014 Q1 plan.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry, I didn't mean to pull it Elmer Fudd. It's
That's all, folks.
yep. I mean, but
Uh,
yeah, that's literally that's all, folks. That's all I've been playing.
All right, Hannah, what do you got?
Oh, I got, well, let's start off with the simple stuff I did first. I'll get into the ridiculousness in a bit. I finally got my new machine up and running
Nice.
properly, and I decided to test it out on a game that was giving me some serious trouble, Dragon Age Origins.
Oh yeah.
So I loaded that up, and I did the load the launcher up and go, all right, well, let's crank that up all the way, and let's turn that up all the way, and let's just set this on ultra and see what happens.
Yeah, 16 AA. I'll do it.
No issues whatsoever.
Nice.
No, like loading doesn't really happen anymore, which is kind of nice. So that's
the
good.
the joys of new PCs, where it's like,
Oh,
I used to be able to make a sandwich when it's loaded. Okay.
oh man, I was hungry.
I remember those. I love those days where you're sitting there, you're absolutely going out of your way trying to cripple your new machine, and you
Yeah.
can't do it.
I was like, I'm gonna load 5 videos right now. How's that? Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it looks good. I played maybe a half hour of it. I just I wanted to kick the tires on the computer and just be like, all right, cool, we're looking good here. And just man, even that's only like a 4-year-old game, but there's a lot of detail in that.
Oh yeah.
In that game, it's nice to finally be able to see it. It's like wow, that's really pretty.
It's like
I'm
one of
gonna
those
play- it's
Claritin.
the way it's meant to be played 6 years later.
Yeah,
It's
right?
one of those Claritin commercials where they just rip off the thing, and you're like, oh, that's how it's supposed to look.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
My special eyes.
My brain.
I've been continuing to play Stealth Inc. And so I've been continuing to play Stealth Inc. and try to S rank everything in that game, and I'm so glad I play that on the train where I don't have any sort of internet connection, because if I did, it would drive me insane. Because so it has all these nice little drivers to make you play better and find the better critical path and figure out what's the best way. And for me, the biggest one is I get so close to some of the leaderboard times that I'm like, well, I could just I'll take like 15 minutes and I'll go through it a couple of times, and then like it's 2 hours later and I'm screaming at this level like, why can't I beat you? And I've beaten it. I've
Just let
S-ranked
me
it.
love you.
Yeah, I've beaten it. I've S-ranked it. I just can't get on that leaderboard like I want to. So I cannot play it with those leaderboards showing. It will kill me every time. I mean, I've only gotten since last week. I've gotten maybe like 4 or 5 levels S-ranked.
Local man found dead. PS Vita to blame. Is the L train killing you? News at 11.
Well, Jim, it looks like it bounced off the wall and went right into his skull. Just a bit of bad luck.
It's like that Ripley's Believer, or what, 10,000 Ways to Die, where the guy chucks a putter at the sign and impales himself.
Oh man,
Yeah, that's how it
I
would
love
happen.
that show. It's so dumb.
I know. It's really dumb.
It's so good.
So that's my train game. I sit there on the train and go, oh, I'm downtown already. All right.
I gotta write that down.
But another game that was giving me trouble on the old PC that I loaded up on the new PC is Rogue Legacy.
Oh yeah,
And- oh my god, that game is so much fun.
yeah.
I felt like such a loser because I loaded it up, I got into it, and I was like, all right, cool, I'm gonna pick my first like Descendant. I pick the Descendant, and I get into the first room, and like 30 seconds later, I'm dead.
Rogue Legacy.
Yeah, it was just like, you're dead, and it kicks me back to the start screen. I'm like, all right, well, I guess I'll keep going, and that just kind of repeated itself for
I have that
2 hours.
I have that death. The music in that death screen seared into my skull.
Yeah,
I just that spotlight and that like with all the enemy. Oh my god.
yeah.
I uninstalled Rogue Legacy this week. I'll explain why during my portion, but you
Fair
should keep
enough.
playing that.
Yeah.
Do you have a 360 controller?
Yeah, that's what I've been using.
Yeah, with keyboard and mouse, that's not a
Not
good time.
no, it's not. I've got the 360 controller sitting right here for two of the other games I played this week. So, but man, that game is fun. Just like I feel compelled to be like, all right, I'm gonna get to a point where I can kill that guy, that guy, that guy, and that guy in one hit.
Yeah.
Each time I go through, so that I don't have to worry about them, and I don't have to sit here and go like, oh, I have to fight that thing. Fine.
Yeah.
I'm
That
like
was one of
level.
my favorite things where like you're going through the beginning part of the castle section, and
Mhm.
like you're just cutting dudes down one shot at a time, just sort of laughing maniacally like ha 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 on my way to the forest.
So I'm basically in the main castle part right now. I'm like level 14 or so, and I'm not sure exactly if I'm doing everything right, but I don't really care. I'm having too much fun.
There really isn't a wrong way to do it. You
That's good to
get
know.
to kind of play the game how you want to play it.
Yeah. I did get really lucky one time. I found like a teleporter pad that teleported me into like the underworld.
Yeah, one of those red teleporters.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
didn't know where it was going to take me, so I just used it, and I didn't immediately regret it because I went up one, like I chose the right path. I went up one screen, there was no enemies but two chests,
Oh, nice.
and I got like 1,300 gold
Yes.
out of those two chests. I was like, yes, oh, thank you. Because you get like, I think most runs I get maybe 200, 300 gold, and like right now I can't even spend it. Like
Yeah.
I've leveled everything up to the point where it's like, well, I need this much.
Yeah.
But I also found the plans for the blood sword and the blood plate
Ooh.
really early. So if I have like the option for a barbarian that doesn't have any detrimental traits, I'll take that and just load them
yeah.
up with the blood stuff because it's vampiric.
Yeah.
And then I'll throw like what's the balance runes?
Mm-hmm.
I got one balance rune for bracers, so I'm like killing dudes and getting 5 HP back every kill
Yeah.
at like level
Nice.
14. So
That helped me so much in the first playthrough. Just being able to, especially when you're sort of wandering around and just saving up a bunch of money, just kind of
Yeah.
extending your play time.
yeah. But that game is just, man, everything you've said about that has just like, oh yeah, this is okay. This totally makes sense now. This is
Have-
awesome.
Have you fought the first boss?
No, not yet.
Okay.
I've gotten to it yet. I'm always like, well, I could go in, but there's like two other connecting doors here, and like I'll get 2 screens out and die.
Yeah.
So,
My biggest suggestion for people playing Rogue Legacy that I've found out way too late is once you unlock that architect guy, that guy with like the big spinning thing out front of the castle,
yeah.
he can lock the castle. So the biggest thing is when you find a boss, especially in like the third and the fourth area, since it
Mhm.
takes so long to get to, lock the castle once you find them once, and just teleport right there and fight them over and over and over again until you get their pattern. Or you can
Mhm.
find a descendant that really suits your playstyle that will finish that boss.
Okay.
Um,
That's a good idea. I think I'm
Yeah.
going to try that next time I find a boss. Just lock that castle down.
yeah, you get like 60%, only 60% of the gold, but you'll beat the boss, so
Yeah.
you'll get a bunch of gold that way anyway.
Yeah. But yeah, that game is definitely recommended. I'm going to try and get to the point where I just want it on Vita. Like I want to just play it on the Vita because it would work perfectly.
It's
There's no
really
reason-
well suited for it.
Yeah, because it's got that nice little like 5-10 minute chunk depending on how well you're doing.
Yeah, and well, it's the platforming on it is just so sharp.
Yeah.
It's there's nothing wrong with the platforming or any of the action of it. It feels like it would do really well on a handheld.
Yeah, absolutely. But hopefully they'll make it. I
Yeah.
can't really push them one way or the other. So
And if not, it's only $15, I think, something like
Yeah.
that.
yeah.
So, well worth the price.
Oh, absolutely. So I yesterday, as I mentioned, I kind of had a whole day to myself, which doesn't happen too often. So I played video games for about 16 hours straight, and I kicked off that insane session with finishing Shadowrun Returns. Finally,
Oh,
I finally was able to sit down and plow through that last fight, and it was, man, that game is really rough once you get to the end. Because there are these, I don't. It's sort of critical to the story. Basically, there's these enemies that you have to kill twice, and they're not easy to kill either time.
Once.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Newsom was talking about that on Pup this week. That saying, you have to kill him once and then kill him again with a special weapon. And he
Yes.
unfortunately had a bunch of melee people in that.
Oh,
in that
that
fight,
sucks.
Whoops.
Oh god, because those things hit you and they drain AP, which is the worst thing you can take away. Because you only have 3. You only have 3 action points. You can do whatever you want with them, but you take one of those away, you're almost completely ineffective.
Yeah.
And God forbid you get more than one taken away.
Yeah.
I think I'm not sure. I think I had one character lose all of it, but I think you still get one unless you're stunned, which is nice. Like you can't go below 1 AP. So man, I kind of saw the ending of the story coming. Like I kind of saw that. I don't know if you'd call it a plot twist, but it was sort of like it was sort of a trope almost. It was kind of like, oh yeah, I saw that part coming, but the rest of it was just insane.
Pretty telegraphed.
Not even telegraphed, just kind of like classic almost. It's like
okay. Where you're like,
yeah.
of course they went that way.
Oh, yeah, of course they did that
I respect
because
that.
that's the only way it makes sense.
Yeah.
And like I mean I like the little like they don't really give you like moral options. Like there's no like moral compass, but it sort of affects the story. And there's a couple options in the game you can choose, like I'm going to do X instead of Y instead of Z. And just I mean the writing was fantastic throughout. And I really enjoyed the way they dropped hints to like the DLC, and they made references to the tabletop game and like the established lore of Shadowrun, which is really cool. So it's like it actually feels like it's canon. It doesn't feel like a video game adaptation. It actually feels like a video game set in this world, which is it's a really nice change of pace because there's a lot of games out there like the God, what was that D&D game on PS2? Demon's Stone?
Something like that. The real early one?
Yeah, it was something. It had that. The only thing I remember from it was the cover. It was like the red logo and like just a black and white ink drawing.
I don't remember.
I really liked it. It was an interesting game, but it wasn't
Could be
like
worse than that Golden Axe game they made.
Oh,
I actually kind of liked that game a little bit. Just a little bit.
just enough to know that it's bad.
I don't. I have a real soft spot for character action games, and that is like the most straightforward character action game with poor vehicle sections.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, riding animal sections.
Yeah, that part wasn't.
Once I got the hang of the combat, I was like, well, I'm done with this.
Yeah, thanks, Dave Halverson.
Yeah, so I finished Shadowrun Returns. It was satisfying, and then I decided to go in a completely different direction and finish up Saints Row the Third.
Oh.
Which that game is so amazing. I managed to stay unspoiled on who the mayor was.
Oh, thank goodness.
Until I actually met him, and I was just like,
is this real life?
It was like the best child grin I've had in video games of all time.
I'm so glad it hasn't been spoiled for a lot of people.
Yeah. And I love the fact that, like, your character just, like, goes all fanboy.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't think I would react much better to that news than my main character. Almost verbatim. What?
What? Who?
My favorite thing is after you do that, you can call him in as an ally.
Yeah.
Yes, and that's awesome. That's so much fun.
And especially the car he shows up in.
Yes. That was unreal. So yeah, I finished that. I had a real rough time with that last mission where you got to go to those 3 different spots and like clear them out.
Yeah.
I was running out of ammo left and right. I was just
the ending of that game was surprisingly tough.
Weapons.
Oh, see, I didn't level up high enough. I kind of critical pathed it. I just kind of went, all right, I'm going to finish this.
Oh, yeah.
So I didn't do like a lot of the side stuff, but I plan on revisiting it to do some of that stuff.
Well, where are you playing it on?
I'm playing it on PC. I'm playing it on PC on like ultra high settings though, so it looks wonderful.
Oh yeah.
I'm just, and I actually, I've got it paused right now so that, the Skype call doesn't kill itself, but I'm going to be doing the inauguration station for Saints Row 4.
Oh,
and
nice.
they're nice little. That's like the character creator, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna definitely be checking that out after the podcast. But every good word that's been said about that game on this podcast is absolutely true. I'm not gonna like stick too much on it because it's been.
Can
we've
throw a
talked-
ditto out there.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean,
Yeah.
I can't get enough
Yeah,
of it.
I don't think I beat that. How much I don't think I beat that game down on the ground enough. How much I love it.
Yeah.
I've bought 5 copies of it.
I'm really, really hoping that Saints Row 4 is, if only as good. I can only
Yeah.
hope that it's just as good.
I know they set that bar pretty high.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm actually kind of pumped for the mod support now because they're gonna have like new clothing and stuff.
Cool.
When that happens. So I mean, mod support in that game will only make it more normal.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. I mean, like, if you look at what people are doing with GTA 4, they're replacing cars with pianos. You can play as Superman, Batman, fly around
Yeah.
as Iron Man. Like,
The Iron Man one looks really fun.
yeah. But with Saints Row the Third, like, what are you going to do? They've done it.
Yeah.
Are you
Yeah,
gonna
how
be
can
like,
you one up those guys?
Are you gonna make a story to like go shopping and make sure you don't break the eggs on your way home? Like
Right.
how are you gonna do that?
Oh, who knows, man? But so that took up the majority of my gaming session yesterday because I was probably only about halfway through that game, so I finished that and I was like, well, I'm kind of still in the mood to play this, but I don't want to tap myself out on it, so I loaded up Sleeping Dogs.
Oh yeah. Let's talk
Yeah.
about this, huh?
Oh man. Oh god, that combat is so good.
Too many
It's-
people have missed this game this gen. Oh
And
my
it
god.
is so punishing.
Knobs, please play this game.
Dude, seriously.
Okay.
And if you, and I like it's the only game so far I've run into that I can't run on the highest of high settings.
Yeah.
I put it on extreme and it looked gorgeous, but sprinting was far too slow for my taste
Yeah.
at that point. Like it was like kind of
Oh
going
yeah.
forward really slow.
Sleeping Dogs is kind of, I think it's the open world game I really wanted this gen. Like
Yeah.
Saints Row the Third was really good, but it was kind of almost too dumb to tell everyone to play.
Yeah.
GTA 4, it never really clicked with us for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Sleeping Dogs, I think, just combines an amazing world, a really great story, if not a little predictable at times, but in like a good like Hong Kong action movie sort of way, and just fantastic combat and driving that doesn't suck.
Oh, the driving, not only does it not suck, like it's actually fun. Like I don't mind doing the races.
No, those are fun as hell.
Yeah, and so I accidentally triggered at one point. So I got maybe 7 hours into the game. I got to the point where you elevate yourself sort of past the street level thug.
Yeah.
So I literally just got there before the podcast, and actually before I started playing Rogue Legacy, which I would have continued playing had we not started. So I got to that point, but right a little bit before I did that, I hopped into a mission. I was just standing somewhere, and I saw like one of the mission markers, and I'm like, oh, that's not on one of my main objectives, and I don't see it on my map for some reason. Well, I'm just gonna walk into it,
Yeah.
and it was one of the Triad Highway missions. I don't know if
Oh
you've seen
yeah.
any of those.
Yeah.
And suddenly I'm in a car. I have a submachine gun, and there's dudes coming from behind me on motorcycles, and the instructions are just kill the dudes on the motorcycles.
Yep. And you have unlimited ammo.
Yes.
Yep.
And it was amazing.
It is. I think at that I did one of those really early on, and it was just like, what am I supposed to be? Oh, I have. Okay. So, someone else is driving. Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
I get to shoot all of these dudes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was
Get behind
and
this.
it like goes until like they get in front of you and stop you,
Yeah.
which I didn't realize. So I'm like, when does this end?
Yeah.
How many of these guys do I have to shoot?
All of them.
Yeah, and I got to a point where like I missed 1 or 2 tires and it was just over.
Yeah.
But I found that was the most effective way to take dudes out, was just shoot the front tire, shoot the back tire,
Oh, totally.
and they will just boom head over heels and they are done.
Yeah.
I did score a couple of headshots though, which I don't know how, especially like
Because you're awesome.
well. Yeah, let's not give
Come on.
credit
I mean, I'm
where
okay.
credit is not due at all. It was pure luck.
Yes.
That the one thing I do have to say about the game, I got to the point where like the gunplay started to kick in, and
Mm-hmm.
because of the fact that like so in the game, since guns are not common in Hong Kong, period, you don't get a gun till a little while into the game
A couple,
until
not
it
even a little
becomes
while, like a couple hours.
yeah, like it takes a little while, and like I think that's definitely it was definitely a distinctive, purposeful choice so
Mm-hmm.
that you would actually learn the hand-to-hand combat system because it comes in handy.
Yeah.
Um,
Badooch.
uh,
Here all week, folks.
yeah, that almost completely derailed my train of thought. Actually,
Gotcha.
but no, the shooting actually feels, I guess, more realistic somehow. Like when you're vaulting over like an object, you can aim and it'll slow down time, so you can kind of do the John Woo thing where you're
Yeah.
hopping over something, slow down time, and you're trying to pop dudes. But your aim isn't perfect
Yeah.
by any means. So like you could completely miss a dude with time slowed down, the reticle's red, and it's right over the dude's head. You could still miss.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not. I don't know. It just didn't feel unfair.
Yeah, it never
I guess.
felt frustrating. It was just sort of like, well, at least it was cool.
Exactly. Like it almost makes up for it by looking fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You-
And that's the other thing
you
about this
missed
game.
with style.
Yes. Well, that's the other thing is this game is gorgeous.
Yeah. I
Like, just-
even played it on 360, and it was amazing looking on there, but on PC.
Oh, it is like jaw dropping. Like the weather effects when it starts raining.
That especially, where the road is all slick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was funny because when I dropped the graphic settings down from it's extreme, which is just insane. Like I don't know what could play it on that.
One of those
But-
SLI deals.
Well, it was one of those things where I didn't realize that the cutscenes were all in engine until I did that.
Oh, yeah.
And they're in engine. There's no pre-rendered cutscenes in this game, which that's fantastic.
Yeah, I can't wait until you open up more of that game, because there's just... There's so many great, fun, dumb things to do, like cockfights. There's a bunch of those fighting
saw those on the map.
clubs.
Really.
Like collecting all the cars. Trying to pimp out each one of your houses, which is a
Yeah.
really weird thing. Like it's just, it's so good. And I
Sounds
really,
sounds pretty raw to me.
Yeah.
well, and I really like that. Your first house is this horrible apartment off of this back dirty alley above, like a drugstore.
Yeah.
That, and it's
That's
the progression in the
Food or
houses.
pharmacies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The progression in the houses feels great. It's not like a GTA thing or like a Saints Row thing where it's like, well, my first place was pretty okay, and then the second place is a mansion, and the third place is the White House. It's
It's
just
like-
sort of a natural progression. I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah, and well, my favorite part is like not only are you like, in a back alley somewhere, and it's this really crappy apartment, and you're above a drugstore, but you're also like around the corner from a massage parlor,
Yeah, yeah.
which was just I was like massage parlor. I
Yeah.
bet that's exactly what I think that is.
Probably.
It was.
Yeah.
But the other thing is, so when I picked this up, I got it off of Amazon for like some super cheap deal, but it came with all of the DLC,
Yeah.
and I mean like all of it,
Yep.
like every single piece. So when I got like it sort of has a prologue where you get into everything, and it like gives you rewards after that prologue mission. But at that point, it also gives you all of the DLC content that you've purchased.
Yeah.
I sat there for like 5 minutes because it goes pack by pack, and you have to hit A in
Yep.
between all this stuff. And it was like, you've unlocked this, you've unlocked
Here's
this.
some outfits, and here's some cars, and here's
Like,
a new island.
I paused for a minute to text a friend of mine who's played and beat the game. I was like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
This is taking forever.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
Look at all this stuff I have. This is amazing.
Yeah, and just like I think I feel a little bad because the some of the DLC gives you way more money than you should have at any given point in this game.
Don't feel bad. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's great because I like just happened upon one of the red envelopes and it was like, here, there's $50,000.
Yeah, and you're just like, what? I had like
What?
2,000.
Yeah, and suddenly I'm like, oh well,
Yeah.
I guess I'm just gonna go
I'll
buy
take a new suit.
stuff. Yeah, it was.
I really liked a lot of that DLC because a lot of the outfits did really cool stuff, and
Oh,
even
yeah.
if they don't, it's like, well, here you get to dress up as the guy from Just Cause. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, I'll take that.
Why not?
Here, you
Yeah.
get to dress up as the dude from Deus Ex Human Revolution. It's like,
Yes.
great.
Nice.
I'll take
That
that.
was awesome. And you've got the Codename 47.
Yeah, the
yeah.
guy from Hitman.
The Hitman.
Yeah. And just and my favorite so far was the old school gangster outfit with like the denim vest
Yeah.
and like
The big lapels.
I've got a screenshot. Like I'm gonna post it on the forums because it's my favorite outfit ever because it's
Yeah.
exactly what I would have picked my character to wear if those were like initial options.
Yeah.
Like it's the denim vest with like a skull and crossbones on the back, you know,
Yeah.
like patch with your name on it.
Yeah.
It's and like the fingerless leather gloves and like the like I don't know, the haircuts just it's 80s.
Yeah.
Like it's
like 80s
80s
Skid
metal
Row.
dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm just I saw that and I was like, that's the outfit I'm wearing for the rest of the game.
Yeah,
But
this
then I
game's
got
so
to the
good.
new apartment. I was like, well, I can't wear that outfit in this apartment. That doesn't feel right.
Yeah. This
So I
place
had to
is too
switch
nice.
up the clothes. You gotta, you know.
Yeah, now you got to look like Lou Beggar.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you haven't played this game, just get it. Just
Yeah.
buy it and play it because it is. I'm not an open world game guy. I generally like try to avoid them because I get so distracted. And like I'll find some activity that I'm like, oh, it's not quite perfect, and I don't like it as much as the rest of the game. I guess I have to stop playing now.
Yeah.
I haven't found that in this game yet.
Oh, it's so
And it
good.
makes me incredibly happy, and I cannot wait to see more of this game. And the story's really good.
Yeah.
Like, just everything else aside, this would be a great story. Just period. There's awesome stuff happening all the time.
Yeah, it's a little bit standard Hong Kong action movie. Like, you sort of know the story beats already, but
Yeah.
that sort of doesn't matter because it's still a good story and it's told really well and the voice acting's really good.
Yeah.
So it's sort of like, well, all right, I figured that would happen. So,
Yeah.
but
It's like,
it was
oh,
still pretty cool.
he's an undercover cop who doesn't quite play by the rules. Didn't see that coming.
Yeah. Oh, double crossing.
Oh no.
Yeah.
But yeah, and that's really all I could say about the game is pick it up, play it, love it.
Yeah, go play it.
And that's all I played this week.
All right, I played more Rogue Legacy and I finished the second playthrough.
Okay.
The New Game Plus. And it immediately loaded up into New Game Plus 2.
Okay.
And I will not be playing that anymore.
So let's go through why.
So I had, at the moment, 4 runes that decrease levels for enemies, just so I
Okay.
could finish the second playthrough. And the enemies started at level 120.
Ooh.
So,
And
Done.
what level are you at?
170 something, I think. 180 something.
Okay.
So yeah, I think I've had my time with that game. I totaled up, I think, 15 hours across that game.
Not bad.
Between the first 2 playthroughs, so I'm good.
Okay.
I will leave that to hardier gamers than I. I will go off and play who knows what else. I don't even remember what I just bought. Whatever. But that, yeah, go buy the game. Super good. I get, it was $1 an hour. How can you go wrong?
Maybe you ask him to put it on Vita.
Yeah, maybe. Hey guys, put it on Vita.
Yeah.
Because they clearly listen to this show.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, I emailed them. They said they're thinking about it. So the more emails they get, you never know.
And plug this show.
Yes.
Call that the Hannah effect.
Yeah. The Vita Viking. I played a lot more SMT4. I'm now 30 hours in. It's like 30 and change. I'm about halfway through the game now. This game is stupid good. Just flat out.
Nice.
I'm not going to spend a ton of time talking about it here. Musum and I spent almost 45 minutes talking about it on Pup this week. So
Nice.
go on and listen over there. We sort of compare it to a bunch of the other SMT games and sort of give a bunch of starter tips, since that game is, like all the other mainline SMT games, is the most difficult because it hates you. But there's a lot of easy ways to kind of game the systems. So, but that game's really good, and we went to great lengths not spoiling the story over in Pup. because I genuinely have no idea what is going on with the story in the best way. Like
Nice.
in probably within the first 10 hours, they throw a total curveball with the story. Such a major way that I can't even begin to talk about it because it's a spoiler. Um, but ever since then, it's just sort of like, but aren't, where am, who's that? Why? I don't, okay. And it's just,
That's why I don't know why poison just went to my head. Who's that? Who's that girl? She is poison. Poison.
but this game, man,
Hey.
I think a lot of people really upset that it was a $50 3DS game, and that's pretty rich.
Yeah.
But the amount of content, and I've played 30 hours. I'm about halfway through, and I've done maybe half of the side quests that I have up until this point. And every week they're coming out with DLC.
Ooh.
And like each DLC pack is like $1, and it'll
Ooh.
give you at least one additional mission. And
That's
some of
cool.
them that they've come out with are like, don't buy this if you haven't finished the game yet, because this thing you're fighting like Lucifer or something. Like it's not going to happen. So just hold off on that. And it's really, really super great. I've been trying to spend a little bit of time every day. Sort of when my girlfriend and I would usually sort of lay in bed and read books at the end of the day. I'm sitting there with my 3DS with the brightness turned down, wearing a pair of headphones and enjoying this game. So
Nice.
we talk about it on Pup episode 25. Go over there and listen to that. We really kind of get deep into talking about that game. So check it out there if you're interested in more of it.
Just makes me wish I was a game I was that sucked into. That hasn't happened in a while.
That's what we were talking about. Like, it's been a real long time for me where I have a game where it's like, okay, I'm gonna sit here tonight. I'm gonna stay up maybe a little bit too long to play this game. And I don't. Rogue Legacy did it for me on PC, and I haven't had a 3DS game maybe ever that did it. I had a lot of DS games, but nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing on 3DS yet.
I mean, I think the last one for me it had to have been Guacamelee. Like I was up to all hours of the night playing
Yeah.
that game.
Yeah. Actually, speaking of Rogue Legacy, I'm gonna start buying more or playing more of my PC games. So I'm actually investigating how to run an HDMI and USB cable from my PC here to the living room that's over there. And I think I've actually found a solution because we're gonna move around our living room, so my TV will be a lot closer to this room. So
Nice.
if I can sit on my couch and play stuff with my pretty okay computer with a 360 controller, I've had a lot of luck with Steam Big Picture lately. They've been
Yeah,
patching the
same
hell
here.
out of it. And
Yeah.
even if I'm sitting right at my computer, just hit the guide button on my 360 controller, it automatically opens up Big Picture. And it's my understanding you can start Steam in Big Picture now.
Yeah.
And just navigate the whole thing and just start playing a bunch of games. And it's awesome. And I want to do that on my couch.
Yeah, I actually was playing around with big picture mode because all the games I was playing this week were controller based. So I was like, well, I'm just going to turn it on because
Yeah.
why not?
Yeah.
It got way better real quick.
Yeah, they really turned that thing around. I was not really very positive about it when it first came out up until about a month ago, and man, that thing is seriously great now.
Oh
So,
yeah.
but I also came out last week that I just started. And I've probably about 3, 4, 5-ish hours in is Tales of Xillia.
Ooh.
This game is kind of putting it nicely, the stereotypical trope JRPG.
Oh really?
And it's well done enough that that's kind of not a bad thing. And I don't know if I've played like a tropey JRPG lately, so it's sort of like, oh, well, of course you went over here to investigate something, and now you're off to save the world. Crazy
Hooray!
14-year-old kids. What are we gonna do with you? But it just the battle system, of course, with Tales games is just so solid that you sort of look forward to each and every fight in the game,
Yeah.
especially because the main character in this game fights hand to hand, so it's not
okay.
some dumb sword or something like that.
Okay.
And they have a new system where you link up with one of your party members, and you both sort of attack from both sides of an enemy.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a chance when you pull off one of your special moves. For anybody that hasn't played the Tales games, it's basically like a side-scrolling beat 'em up. When you
Yeah, I was
go
gonna
into each
say
battle.
that battle system's really unique.
It's very unique. They call it the LIMS system. It stands for something stupid. I
Of
really
course
love
it
the
does.
game, but you know, yeah, it's like LMBS, and it stands for I like linear mode battle records. But it's kind of neat because when you link up with another person, when you do a special attack and there's a symbol flashes on screen, you can pull R2, and your attack and their attack will combine to make a stronger attack out of it.
Cool.
So you're kind of there's benefits to linking to people, and the other person will sort of watch your back. If there's an enemy coming on the battlefield that's coming to try and sneak up behind you, they'll break off from your battle and kind of go over there and try and fight them while you're fighting this other person. Something kind of a little bit different than kind of mashing X for 50 hours.
Yeah.
My only gripe about the game so far is the voice acting is okay, but the writing is a little bit on the weaker side.
Okay.
It seems like a very literal translation that when you sort of read it out loud, it's just sort of like, well, I get what you're saying, but it kind of doesn't sound right. You know, like it just that sounds weird. I don't people don't say those things, but I mean it's a Tales game. It doesn't seem nearly as good as Vesperia or Abyss were, but those are kind of the two best ones. But I'm still sort of holding out that this game will do that thing that some Tales games do at like the halfway point in the game. The whole story turns on its head, and you're like, oh well, now I'm playing a whole totally different game. This is crazy, sort of like Vesperia did halfway through.
Nice.
So, and I don't know if I'll finish it. You know, it seems sort of like a thing I can hop into for an hour or so here and there. But with so many other games coming out lately, especially a lot of stellar stuff coming out on PC, a lot of stellar indie stuff coming out,
Yeah.
I don't know if I can really afford the time, especially with SMT4. I don't know if I can afford to play two giant 50-hour RPGs at the same time. That might make me lose my mind.
Yeah, and we're also right on the cusp of September, so you're just gonna run out of time eventually anyway.
Well, and I have both new consoles pre-ordered, so like, there's just too many. There's too many games.
There's too much game.
Too much game going on.
That's such a bad problem.
No, I mean
It's
it's
a
an
good problem
embarrassment
to
of
have.
riches. You know.
Yeah.
But the last game I played is Dragon's Crown.
Ooh.
My girlfriend and I have been playing that. I know people want me to talk about the art. Really, I don't want to. I love. I will just say really quickly. I love the quality of the art. It's still Vanillaware. It's great. It's like you're running around a fantasy painting.
Yeah.
I do not like the content. I think it turns off more people than not. I understand that they were going for, like stereotypical fantasy, like painting book covers, the sort of things that are in the opening of Gentleman Broncos. But it turns more into the thing that a guy has painted onto his van that is
the
kind
big
of
wizard.
Yeah, it's more creepy than it sort of is whatever they were trying to go for. So
Yeah, and that actually, I'll be 100% honest, that prevented me from picking it up because I'm going to be playing that game in a public place, the train.
Yeah.
I don't want to be seen playing that game in a public place. I'll be
no.
100% honest.
I would not. That is one of those few games where if someone would walk in on you playing this game that doesn't know games, they would have a lot of questions.
Yes, and they wouldn't be like, "Oh, so what have you been playing?" It would be, "What are you
like,
playing?
What are you doing? What are you watching? What's wrong with you? So I really don't want to focus on the art style too much because I feel like it's been talked to death, and I
Yeah.
really what I want to focus on is how unbelievably astounding this game is.
Ooh.
I was hoping. I told my girlfriend the other day that I wish the game was bad because my girlfriend and I have been playing at couch co-op.
Okay.
I wish this game was bad so I could discount the entire thing because I was expecting to go in and have a like a fairly standard fantasy styled side scrolling beat 'em up where it's just like you get in arcade mode and you're just playing Streets of Rage with a wizard, and that
Yeah.
would have been okay. But the game, the actual game portion of Dragon's Crown is really, really, really great. It's a pretty much a full on hack and slash RPG.
Nice.
You got leveling, you have loot that you're identifying back in town.
Ooh.
All the score that you get in, so there's a bunch of stuff that makes it really great for playing with other people, and there's a bunch of stuff that kind of doesn't. All the score that you get in the level is put into a shared experience pool and then split between everyone else. So
Oh, okay.
you get 2,000 points at the end of the level, you get 2,000 experience, each player, if you're playing two-player, gets 1,000. Done.
Nice.
So it never
Nice.
turns into this thing where it's like, I've been killing everything because I'm awesome and I'm level 50 and you've been having a really rough day over there and you're level 3. Like there's never that disparity. Everyone shares gold. So it's never like, it's never really a race to get the equipment if you're playing couch co-op because it just goes into the same pool.
Nice.
And that helps a lot. And there's a ton of stuff.
There's no loot greed.
No, and that's what I really like is that like whoever gets to the chest first, great. There's never actually any loot to pick up because you have this thief dude following you. So the really weird part about the PS3 is the right stick controls a cursor on the screen that you have to drag over a treasure chest and hit L1 or R1 to have your thief dude open it.
Okay.
And on the Vita, you just touch it. And
Nice.
that just happens. So on the PS3, it's sort of like, well, why am I like using a mouse cursor? Why can't I go over to the thing and hit some button? But sort of the game's least problems. But like all the equipment you get, that dude just brings back to town. And once you're done with a level, you get all your experience, you get all your money that you picked up, but you also get an opportunity to spend money to identify items. And all that loot that you got is in this big list that basically just looks like Diablo, where it's just a bunch of question marks all over the stats of them.
Okay.
Well, then when you go back to town, you can equip all your stuff and go buy magic and go repair things and stuff like that, and get new quests. And there's something with getting bones in those levels. I don't know what that is yet. It's weird. But the actual mechanics are really, really great. So my girlfriend picked the dwarf. And he's this tiny little, like, 7 layers of muscles sort of dude. But why she picked him is he can pick up enemies and throw them, which is automatically awesome. And I picked the elf. It's this tiny little female elf who I didn't realize is basically like a combo machine in that you're punching dudes and kicking them and doing backflips and throwing them up in the air so you can shoot them with arrows and stuff. Like really incredibly, incredibly fun.
Nice.
The only gripe that I have with this game is the game at its core is not built for couch co-op. So none of these problems would be any issue if you're playing online, but the first person through the door into an area in town, so like if you're going to go to the pub, if you're going to go buy equipment or repair stuff, that's the person that's controlling that menu, which is fine because you sort of have to do your thing. Like, I'm going to spend my skill points, I'm going to go repair my equipment. But the problem with that is there's no way in that menu to flip to another character. So you have to get out of the place you were in, and then the next person has to walk into that place to then go control their menu, which it's not a big deal, but it's kind of, I don't understand if you have a cursor on the screen, why can't you just have up in the upper right hand corner player 2, 3, and 4, and you can say, all right, I'm done. Who wants to go next? Oh, player 3, I'm going to go tap on them. Player 3 controls the menu now.
Yeah, there's a solution to that problem.
Yeah, nowadays it's just sort of like, well, none of this has to be as right now. It shouldn't be like there were a bunch of times when we would go walk to spend our skill points, and we would both go in, and then it was like, oh, I thought I went in. Oh, you did? Oh, okay, that's weird. And sometimes like the first person that enters an area is the one that's going to be controlling the dialogue. So sometimes neither of us are watching because we're assuming the other person's controlling the dialogue. And it's just like these weird little issues that like you would expect to have on something that like someone would make on the Genesis. Where it's like, all right, everyone back out of the store. All right, now you go. No, not you. You were supposed to go in first. God, you're the worst friend ever. Like that's the sort of stuff you deal with when you're like 10 and you're in your parents' basement. But like nowadays, it seems like everyone has figured this out. But at the end of the day, the game is still really fun, and it gives you enough stuff. It gives you like these competitive co-op things too, where you can drag your cursor along the background of the scene you're in right now, and every once in a while your cursor will find this like little glowing thing. If you tap, I think it's L1 on top of it, an item drops out that gives you a bunch of points, which then turn into experience at the end. So not only are you fighting all these things and you're getting all these loot, but also it's it's also this sort of hunt and peck sort of thing in the background to kind of get all this experience. And it's my understanding that there are these symbols in the background that do things later in the game too. So it's just all this fun stuff to do, and it's kind of nice to play another really well-made hack and slash game on the couch with someone. Where you're not competing, you're not racing for experience, and nobody's fighting for loot. It's just sort of, we're just kind of having fun leveling up and fighting a bunch of dragons. I don't think I've played a game like that lately. So
yeah, kind of the last one sounds like what Castle Crashers, where you're just beating stuff up.
Yeah, you're just sort of having fun, and for someone like my girlfriend and I, it's really great because you can have that permanence. It's the thing that we really liked about playing Borderlands 2 together is you can pick up and play that game with anyone, but to actually build your characters to complement each other, or work together to raise your levels and say, well, like, oh, well, this equipment's probably not great for me. Why don't you try it out for your character? Or like, I'm trying to do this thing with my character. We picked a melee character and a ranged character to try and, to complement all that stuff. It's better than, something like Castle Crashers where it's just, here are your 4 characters, everything poops, go from right to left, go from left to right.
Have at it.
Yeah, like anybody can play that game, and anybody can play Dragon's Crown too, but the best part of it is the RPG part, with having your characters have permanence and, building your characters to complement each other. And I think that's what we really like out of a lot of these games. So, but that's all I've been playing. So let's take a break.
Sweet. Go pee.
Oh, man, we've been recording an hour already.
I'm going to continue to eat these green beans here.
I think that segment was longer than the entire episode last week.
Yeah. Oh, we had a lot of good games to talk about this week, finally.
Oh, dude, I was... Like, it was sort of a perfect storm for me. I was just like, all right, I'm up at 7:30. I'm going to take care of a couple things that I need to take care of, and I'm going to sit down and I'm going to play video games until
all of the games.
I'm going to play video games until I can't.
Yeah.
It ended up being nice. But man, Sleeping Dogs is so good.
I can't believe how many people have missed that game this gen because they assume it's like a GTA knockoff or like a really cheap open world game. Yeah. It just didn't really get any marketing.
Yeah, and I totally understand that because apparently if you get any marketing from Square Enix, you have to sell more than 3 million copies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, poor Tomb Raider.
Yeah, that's such a shame.
Well, they said they're making a next gen one. So
oh, well, yeah.
I'm happy.
Yep. Yeah, like I had Dragon's Crown on pre-order, and I'm like, I'm gonna be playing this on the train. I can't. I
Yeah,
just can't. I don't
there's
want
no
to be
way.
that guy.
There's just some stuff in that game where you're just sort of like, ooh, I hope. Like there's
Nobody
stuff that
saw
my
that.
girlfriend and I have looked at where we're just like, this is almost offensive in its stupidity.
Yeah. It's not even like it wouldn't even be like offensive. I just feel really awkward in general already. I don't need to compound that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like you're that creeper on the train watching porn.
Yeah, nobody wants to be that guy.
No.
No one should ever be that guy. Period.
No.
That guy sucks.
Yeah, that guy's ruined it for the rest of us.
That guy's creepy. Sorry if you're that guy, but creepy.
Yeah, stop
Sorry.
openly watching porn on the L train. You can wait.
Oh, you see that'll happen on the L. Like I expect that.
Yeah.
It's fine. Whatever. It's the L. You don't have to have scruples. But if you're on the Metro, I expect a better class. I expect
yeah.
a little more sophistication.
Yeah. I think tomorrow is when Nintendo is taking over the L train, right?
They're doing what now?
Nintendo's taking over the L train and making it the Luigi train. I don't know if you've seen that.
No.
I think it's tomorrow. They're like totally decking it out in Year of Luigi stuff.
Oh man. Okay, hold on. Let's Google this. Nintendo decking out Chicago's L train with Luigi on August 12th.
There you go.
Nintendo is marketing the upcoming retail launch of new Super Luigi U and continuing its celebration of the Year of Luigi with a special event in partnership with the Chicago Transit Authority and its L train, Nintendo announced today. That's awesome!
Yeah.
Oh man, alright, so part of Chicago's L train. Oh, and it's the brown line. I take that to work. Yes! We
Nice.
rebranded as the Luigi line, and a special train covered inside and out with images of Luigi will run on that line from 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. Yes! Local time. I'm going to take a bunch of pictures then. Local time, August 12th.
That'd be
In
cool.
addition, Luigi himself will appear on the train.
Yes.
And the upper platform of the lobby at the Clark and Lake station, which I can get to, located at blah blah blah, will host kiosks where fans can play new Super Luigi U. Well, I guess I know what I'm doing before work tomorrow.
Awesome.
I'm going to stop at Clark and Lake and play me a few minutes of the new game.
Yeah.
That sounds awesome. Wow, thanks for the heads up. And I live here.
Come on, CTA. Get your stuff together.
Man,
Alright, I'll be right back.
cool. Yeah, I'm going to grab a drink.
Alright.
Let's see.
Hello to everyone in chat today.
Yeah. How you doing? Sorry we left you alone, 12 gauge.
Oh, I should probably open up show notes, huh?
Yeah, not necessary. I'm going to share this with all my Facebook peeps really quick because they need to know about that.
I'll share with all my friends. I feel very IT manager right now because I've been buying all these IT management books.
Oh, really?
Yeah, for everyone on chat, I've got, let me pull this up. I've got time management for system administrators. Stop working late and start working smart.
Oh, those are the, what are those, O'Reilly
Yeah,
books?
O'Reilly makes the best books. And then,
The best covers.
that's true. Which one is this one? Looks almost like a... Colophon is a Wolverine.
Okay. Let's see
Go
that.
blue. This one is technical impact, making your information technology effective and keeping it that way. It even has a flow chart on the front, which means
You know it's serious.
you know when you're into some serious biz. Oh man. Interest plus involvement plus initiative equals ally.
I'm already asleep.
Get what you and your team deserve. Man, so many flowcharts. Holy crap.
It's all of the flowcharts.
Targeting your IT progress. IT components, planning, building, running, managing. Man. I'm trying to my boss, the CEO, and I are trying to do a lot of strategic planning at work lately, so
So you got to get that long-term stuff going.
yeah.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
is not easy being a manager.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
Yeah.
I keep-
I enjoy it. I love doing it.
Yeah. I don't know. I would have to like I'm actually going back to a psychologist to see if I can get my ADHD back under control
Oh yeah.
and get like because I just picked up on it like a month ago that I realized that I can't focus on like work related tasks as well as I should be able to,
Hmm.
and stuff that's like sort of related but not like I'm doing my job but not like exactly what I should be doing. I hyper focus on stuff
Oh
that
yeah.
I don't need to be hyper focusing on, but it's because I actually want to do it.
Yeah.
And like those are like my triggers, and I'm like, okay, it might be time to get back on medication for this. I need to not derail this train. So I just got all my insurance info for all that too. So
Nice.
should be interesting. So if I'm a little weird in a couple weeks,
We'll roll with the
I-
punches.
yeah, like I'm actually gonna make sure I give my boss a heads up and be like, hey, just to keep you informed.
Yeah.
If I seem a little different or strange.
Yeah, that I can tell you as a manager, that is always really appreciated. That way,
Oh yeah,
especially if other people pick it up, they're like, "Yo, why is this dude being a little weird?" And it's like, "Well, he's got some stuff going on. Don't worry about
yeah, yeah.
it." Pflux in chat asks, "Can someone tell me why I keep doing this? I have a pile of shame with about 15 games in it, yet I still buy new titles on day one. Titles I know I won't be playing in forever."
15 games. That's adorable.
I have a giant box of games that I haven't touched yet. I recently broke that habit by taking a look at how cheap games get so quickly.
Mhm.
Almost as soon as they come off of the shelves, the literal brick and mortar shelves,
Yeah,
they drop at least $20. And then, I mean, within another probably 6 months, you can find them for like $10, $20, not even used.
yeah,
So, I mean, like for me, it's just taking a look at how much money I save by doing that. And if I buy a game for $10, $15, like if I were to buy Sleeping Dogs now, it'd be like $10, $15 brand new.
yeah.
And if I didn't play it for a while, that's fine. It's $15, whatever.
Exactly.
But if you buy, I've been trying to focus on buying new games that I know I want to play right away and justifying the price and saying, this is gonna be $60. I know I'm gonna play it right now, so it's fine for $60 because I'll play it right now. My girlfriend and I'll play it together. That sort of thing. Trying to justify. But if I'm not going to, whatever.
Yeah.
Or wait for a Steam sale and pick it up on PC.
Well, and the thing is, don't think this solves the problem. This just creates a different problem,
Yeah.
which is, oh look, I can get 5 games instead of 1.
Yeah, maybe I'll do that.
Yeah.
Like, that's one of the big reasons why I want to run. So I've been doing a lot of research on like extending USB and HDMI connections over like 50 or 75 feet because I really want to run this stuff that Steam basically from my machine off to my TV so I can sit there and play. Like I have DMC, that new Devil May Cry game, on PC, and if it runs 1080p 60 frames a second, why would I spend the money to go buy the PS3 or 360 version that runs at half the frames. Not that I really care, but
Yeah.
I already have the game. Why should I spend more money to play it on the couch? You know.
Yeah. I'm thinking about doing that with mine. I'd have to run some seriously long cables though, which could run into issues, especially with HDMI. I don't think it
Yeah.
would be as big a deal with USB, because I honestly think I could carry my 360 controller downstairs, still have it hooked up to the PC here, and it would work fine.
Yeah.
Because I use a wireless because I have the wireless receiver.
Oh yeah, the wireless in
So
this house. This house is just so old. It blocks so much wireless signal.
yeah, luckily like I have a wooden floor,
Oh,
so it
nice.
just boom straight through.
Yeah.
It's really nice. So my Wi-Fi signal doesn't like get completely crippled when I'm in the basement.
Yeah. Yeah, I just keep looking at like this giant list of games that I have for my PC and just sort of saying like I don't except for Rogue Legacy, I kind of don't like sitting in front of my computer. Like
Yeah,
I spend so much time at work. Like spend 10 hours a day sitting in front of my computer and working. That
yeah,
I want to come home and I want to sit on my comfy couch and play some stuff on my TV. And if I can run one HDMI cable out there to do audio and video, and run a long USB cable so I can get this wired 360 controller, then why not? You
yeah,
know, I was looking at I think Monoprice has a really great like 75-foot USB cable with repeater for like $30,
yeah.
and
That
like
doesn't
a
surprise me.
and like a 50-foot really high quality HDMI cable for like 50, I think.
Wow,
So for less than $100, like, yeah, I'll
that's
do
not
that.
bad. I actually recently bought a bunch of cables on Monoprice. I was like, okay, well, I'll get the 15-foot USB cables. I had two of those,
Hmm.
two extenders for whatever reason, and then two 6-foot USB cables because
Yeah.
all my like phone chargers are micro USB,
Oh yeah.
but they're all old, so they're kind of like the edges are worn, so they don't stick in the port correctly.
Yeah.
Like they don't stay in. So I have to sit there. Like if I'm using my phone while it's plugged into my current charger, it's not charging
Yeah.
is basically what happens. However, I didn't realize how long a 15-foot USB cable was.
Very long.
It's extraordinarily long.
Yeah.
I was shocked. I was kind of like, oh, it's still going. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, I wish I could unplug this cable. I've got a crazy long Ethernet cable here.
Oh, I've got tons of that.
Look at this bad boy.
Let's see. Oh, Jesus.
Crazy long. That extends throughout our entire house.
Wow. That's, yeah. Buddy of mine picked up an entire, like, 2,000-foot reel of Cat 5 at
Oh
a thrift
yeah.
store for,
Oh.
like, $5.
Oh, I need to go take care of the cat. I'll be right back.
All right. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened to Knobs either, P-Flux. I'm a little concerned. All right.
Alrighty. Sorry about that.
I think there's some real concern about Knobs possibly being dead.
Either that or his video froze. He's still sitting there.
Yeah, I certainly hope not. Hopefully he'd at least be able to hear us.
Yeah.
Man.
See if there's any new news stories here.
So how do you feel about Carmack joining the Oculus Rift team?
I think that's a very positive thing.
Yeah.
I hope that continues. I think the Oculus Rift needs to happen. And
Yes.
I think the technology so far shows that it can and that it actually works.
Yeah.
And I think Carmack joining is not only like a vote of confidence for the technology, saying like, all right, this guy who knows his tech is going to come and join you guys.
Yeah.
But hopefully it also drives it more for having more games on it. Because there are a couple games now, like a Giant Bomb was looking at iRacing using it.
Yeah.
And like a lot of the stuff seems fine, but not a lot of it seems like it's really made for the Oculus Rift. Or made correctly. It's almost like one of those bad 3D movies that like they shot in 2D and changed to they like made it 3D in post-processing.
Oh, okay.
It's one of those where it seems like, well, it works, but it's sort of weird.
Yeah, I think it also gives it a bit of almost an air of legitimacy now with Carmack and on it, because if he has confidence in it, then that means it can happen.
Yeah.
He can make it happen.
Yeah.
Because, as I do every year, I watched his QuakeCon keynote, and I understood about 40% of it. And the man's he's brilliant. And he's brilliant in a way that I think a lot of people just kind of ran off, oh, he just does video games. It's like, no.
No, he does a lot of just general tech stuff.
Yes. And that's the other thing. I follow his Twitter feed, and it's always like, man, that's brilliance at work.
Yeah.
It makes no sense, but I'm sure it's awesome.
Not really sure what he's talking about, but it seems really great.
Yeah. So I don't know. I was like more pumped about that than I think I should have been. I was like, oh man, that means it might actually happen. I might actually have this in my lifetime.
Yeah.
And it'll work.
Yeah, like that's the thing that seems neat now is like the technology works, but it seems like there's still a lot of problems with people getting dizzy, people getting sick. I don't know if you can get rid of those problems, but maybe you can try and minimize as much as you can, and then try and get the technology in them better and better. Because you hear a lot of people saying like, "Oh well, yeah, the screens are really low quality, so you sort of get that screen door effect." But it definitely works. If you could get rid of a lot of that stuff, you could make the technology a lot more impressive.
Yeah, and it sounds like that's what they're trying to move towards.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's gonna be just so. That's it. I'm waiting for just like the interesting developments to start happening with that, because it's different. Like I think a few people are nervous because his like space company is sort of going under right now. Like they're selling off assets and stuff. Armadillo Aerospace, but that's like a whole different beast. It's like there's no reason to be nervous about Carmack doing anything with graphics.
Well, and I don't really know if I feel like that's not really something that you can blame on Carmack.
Oh no, not at all.
You can't be like, oh well, his company failed, so it must have been that guy, right? And it's like, well, no. I mean, that could have been who knows how many things.
Oh, that's tons of factors. I mean, doing anything with like space technology is not cheap at all.
Oh yeah.
It takes a massive amount of money to do any of that stuff. And then on top of it, you have the fact that just stuff just happens. Like you could have a perfect launch, and then you get it starts to break atmosphere, and it just destroys itself. Like that sort of stuff is so unpredictable.
Yeah. Okay, how many emails do we have?
One in here.
He's alive.
Yeah, sorry about that. I had to have the insurminator. No, the exterminator stop by for the mice.
Okay.
So I was running all over the house, and I get covered in spider webs.
Ugh.
Oh yeah, it is the future because now manuals and discs are coming.
Oh.
Ooh.
That was the software for the keyboard,
Nice.
Oh, nice.
and it comes in a little package.
Yeah, you're just gonna
Get this
download it
fucker in
online
here.
anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's just an exe to download to the website.
Just a README with says, "Go to this URL."
Yeah.
What are you doing? Putting this CD in your computer?
You know what's funny? Because it has that little inside tray that it fits perfectly in.
Yeah.
Not enough stuff came on those tiny CDs.
I
For
know.
sure.
Demos? Come on, you're missing a good opportunity here.
Oh, kitschy little things like just.
Screensavers, whatevs.
Yeah. I always wanted mini discs to
Screensavers.
take off because of the Matrix, where they're loading up the programs in those. Ah, so cool.
I always loved those. Like in grade school, we had an Apple IIe that had that CD-ROM drive where you had them in those little like plastic carrying things. I always thought that was
Oh
neat.
yeah.
Yeah. All right, Boomer. I'm gonna let you out.
Yeah. I saw how well that worked for the PSP
No
though,
way.
with the covers on the games.
Yeah.
Not well. I swear I had more people come in like younger kids, like 7, 8-year-old kids that are like, so I took the CD out of the case. How do I put it in the Vita? I'm like, oh, you
Oh,
broke
damn.
it.
Oh, what's even better is Sean was over with his son Logan. He's like, "What are floppy disks?"
And you're like, get out of my
And Sean
house.
and I just like, ugh.
It's like, kid, you don't want to know.
Because I was looking, apparently my Saturn's MIA right now.
Oh, interesting.
Because he wanted to borrow it, but I found my box that's got that. I opened a box that just said Sega on it, and in it was my 32X Sega CD and Genesis, all connect still.
Nice.
On top of it was my Dreamcast. On top of that was my Master System
Jeez.
and a backup Genesis
Nice.
in one box.
Tower of Power.
And then I stumbled across my Nomad and my CDX.
Nice.
Oh, the Nomad. Games.
Man,
It was
I'm a
sweet.
bit of a fanboy.
Just a little.
Alrighty, you guys ready? So I'm sorry wasting your time so much.
No worries. I am ready.
Let's do
Okay.
this.
All right, ready in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back, everybody. We got releases. Downloadable games this week. Brothers, a test for XBLA. That is 1,200 points. Sure. Saints
I don't know
Row.
about it.
Yep,
Yeah.
I don't know much about it either. Saints Row 4 Inauguration Station. That is for XBLA, and it is free. Free
Yep.
character creator there, folks. Have fun.
Yep.
That's also up on Steam.
And I think it's on PSN, but I couldn't find verification for sure.
Yeah.
And we only report the facts here at TVGP.
Yes.
Yes.
Ibn Ab for PSN is $10.
Looks super cute. That's all I know.
Yeah.
PS2, it's like Ilo Milo
Yes.
or Elo Milo, whatever it is.
Who knows?
PS2 Classics, the Red Star for $10.
So if you missed it when they made that super, super small print run of it,
Yeah.
Now you can get it for only $10.
Yeah, I remember seeing
Right.
it for about a day and then going, oh, where'd that game go?
Yeah, I managed to snag a copy, and I think mine is still sealed.
Wow.
Nice.
Because I was just like, well, I'm not gonna unwrap this one.
You get the purist. That thing's gonna be worth some fun.
Hells yes.
All right, PS Plus members get Hitman Absolution for free.
Oh
Nice.
yeah.
It is
That's the good stuff.
fascinating.
That's
Very
why
much.
we love PlayStation Plus. That's still a pretty recent game.
Yeah.
It is.
It came out this
Pretty
year, I
recent.
think, actually.
I think it did as well.
Let's
U.S.
confirm.
release for the week of August 12th, 2013. Disney Infinity Starter Pack for PlayStation 3, 360, Wii U, Wii thirds.
There was a news story. I don't remember who came out with it, but I had to laugh about it. Everyone needs to remember this is a kids game. Someone had written, I don't remember where, but they were upset that, so basically like the booster packs that are coming out are blind packs. So you don't know
Nice.
which of the two little tokeny things that you're going to get in each pack. And someone was upset, some like adult writer on the site was upset that they don't know which ones they're getting. And it's like, right, because when you're a kid, that's half the fun, and you have to have a stack of these doubles because you're supposed to trade with your friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a kid's game. Calm the F down.
Well, it's just like back when it's like buying cards, like baseball cards or a Magic pack. You
Or-
never know
or
what you're
like-
getting in that.
Or like
Ugh.
Matchstick, or like those Hot Wheels cars.
Yep.
Sometimes you get like 3 in a pack, and it's like, well, I already have this one, but my friend has this totally sweet one, and I know he doesn't have this one. So
Yeah.
we're going to trade.
Yeah.
For
Come
sure.
on.
Needs to get out and socialize a little bit.
Yep.
Payday 2 for PlayStation 3, 360, and PC.
Man, that game looks good. Way
Yep.
better than the first one.
Yeah, it does
way,
look.
way better.
It does look good. I was thinking, that's a third-person shooter, isn't it?
First person. It's basically
First person.
Left 4 Dead. It's a Left 4 Dead with bank heists, basically.
Nice. All right, Angry Birds trilogy for the PlayStation 3, 360, Wii U, Wii, and thirds.
It could be good. I don't know.
Sure.
You get
Yeah.
a lot of Angry Birds with 3 Angry Birds games, so man, I don't know.
Fair
And
enough.
next, I am really curious to play this for some reasons I don't know, probably because I'm a kid. DuckTales Remastered for XBLA, PSN, Wii U, and PC.
God, that looks so good.
I
Yeah.
just want to hear that. Like, I just want to hear it again.
Yep. God, it looks so good. I mean, just the amount of work that they've done into remastering it, getting all of the original voice actors back, including Scrooge McDuck.
Oh,
Nice.
He's like 95 years old now.
Ooh.
They've remastered all the original stuff. They've redone some of the original levels so that they're not so confusing as hell anymore.
That's
Just some of the side-by-side stuff they've done is amazing.
those vertical climb levels were murder,
Yep. Oh, it's so good.
but I'm so looking forward to just seeing it again and just hearing the dumb music. The dumb music.
Or the best video game song ever, The Moon.
Yep.
Yeah.
And lastly, Space Hulk comes out for PC.
I did not know that this wasn't like a... I knew this was a Warhammer 40k game. I didn't know this wasn't like a shooter or an RTS game.
Yeah.
I didn't know this was like a straight up like
Turn-based strategy.
turn-based like tabletop game.
Yeah.
I might have to buy this.
It looks
Yeah.
cool. It looks
really
really
good.
cool.
Oh man, Steam.
Yeah.
All right, let's
Curse
move on.
you.
Let's move on to news stories and stop talking about stuff we can't help ourselves from buying.
Yeah.
First news story we got here is rumors flying about this possible Amazon Android console. Console's kind of in quotes for right now.
Yeah.
Amazon's looking to make some sort of Android set-top box with a Qualcomm Snapdragon processor in it. And as I know of a bunch of people that work at Qualcomm, that's a great processor.
Yeah.
And this may be linked, some people are thinking this is linked to a rumor last year that Amazon might be making a movie streaming set-top box of their own. So it sounds like it's basically like a Kindle
Ouya?
Fire, no, like a Kindle Fire desktop set-top thing where it's movie streaming, music
Yeah.
streaming, game playing, everything that you might be able to read books on it if you're crazy, who knows. um, sort of everything that Amazon, because my original thing was like, well, we already have the Ouya. Why do we need another, you know, Android set-top box? But if it does all of this Amazon stuff, then maybe that could be.
It makes your Amazon Prime purchasing much better. Because you imagine if you purchase something through Amazon Store, like a movie digital copy thing, guess what? It's in your Amazon library now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like it is now, how a lot of people feel about the Kindle Fire, where all the music and movies and games and books and everything is on this one device. If you can extend that really easily and very cheaply to your set-top box,
Yeah.
that sounds to me like a no-brainer. And you can play Android games on it. Great.
And the thing that would amaze me even more if they could nail that price point, right? Because
Yep.
I mean, how well they priced the Kindle Fire,
Yeah.
I can't imagine this thing being more than $100.
I couldn't imagine this thing being more than $50.
Yeah.
If it's $50, it'll be in every house.
Because imagine, how much stuff do you need to store on this thing? Not much.
It's
Yeah.
streaming.
Yeah, most of it's going to stream. Some Android save stuff, you put 16 gigs of flash memory in that thing and call it a day.
Yep.
I'm very curious to that to me seems like it could change Android gaming if they could
Yeah.
get the price point right. The hardware it almost doesn't even matter what it looks like. No one knows what the Ouya looks like, for example.
Yeah.
And they just know
Yeah.
what the controller looks like. And if they can get the controller right, or if they say just plug in a 360 controller, whatever, it's got USB ports on the front. Who cares?
Yeah.
Those two things really need to come out swinging on it. Next news story, Xbox One unboxing video came out. Normally I wouldn't report on this because it's an unboxing. But the console will now have a headset included in every package. So
Of course it will.
I think a lot of people forget how much the headset coming in the 360 really popularized Xbox Live and Gold and Party Chat on the 360.
Yeah.
Because it's not like how the PS3 was, where it's like, oh, well, I want to play. Oh, you don't have a headset? Well, I know it didn't come with one, but you can buy a Bluetooth one. Yeah, I know it's like $60, but but with the 360, it came with a headset. It wasn't super great, but everyone had
worked.
the same headset plugged into your controller. It didn't need batteries, and it just worked.
Yeah, I
that's-
still think that's probably the biggest thing of what made me love Xbox this generation more than anything else was the ease of chat across games and party chat. I don't know how many times I've sat in a party, not really just hanging out and
It's
playing.
just four people playing four different things.
Yeah.
Just chatting. Yep. So I think to me that's a huge, probably not selling point for a lot of people, but it makes everything so much easier again, especially since the Xbox One has Skype integration. That's how they do party chat, and it just has Skype.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there will be some sort of problem with doing Skype over the Kinect. So at least you'll have a headset.
Yeah, you have some sort of backup option.
Yeah. On the other side of our console war, because the console wars are in full effect now, especially since the consoles aren't out, Sony came out and said they will not charge gamers to record and stream gameplay like the Xbox One. Microsoft came out this week saying that Skype, the Xbox One DVR, and Smart Match are behind the Xbox Live Gold paywall, which Smart Match makes sense because you have to have Gold to play multiplayer.
Online. Yeah.
Skype, that kind of sucks.
That makes zero sense.
That's kind of unfortunate. Microsoft owns Skype now, so they can really do whatever they want with it. But come on, guys. And the
sucks.
DVR function, that for a lot of people seemed like it was kind of a pretty big selling point. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
but
that's pretty cool.
Sony came out swinging once again, saying those features are available for everyone that buys a PS4. So you don't even have to worry about it. The only thing that's locked behind PlayStation Plus now is online multiplayer.
And free games, a treasure trove
and
of
free
games.
So, if you don't want to play online multiplayer on the PS4, don't buy PS Plus. You want free games, buy PlayStation Plus. Because you get a lot of really good free games.
Yeah.
The next news story we have is we're probably the only podcast talking about Guilty Gear Third Sign.
Yeah.
But 4 new characters are announced. Knobs, if you have not yet seen what Potemkin looks like...
I've seen it!
Yeah, it's... holy crap. The 4 characters announced are Potemkin, Venom, Chip, and May.
Oh, yes, Chip.
Yeah, Chip is the only one that I'm not crazy yet about his style, but...
What does he look like now? I have to look this up.
It looks like Chip's enough.
It looks a little bit different in a way that before we started recording today, so they're currently focus testing in Japanese arcades right now. So the YouTube footage and screenshots that have been coming out from this game are astounding. I just I can't. Somebody had a close up of May in her sort of opening. Like every character has their opening animations, whatever.
Yeah.
This really close-up look of May, and just that engine is astounding. I can't.
I'm so excited.
I can't believe. And Potemkin just looks so badass. It's so cool. I'm so excited for this game.
I just put Chip in chat. I'm going to throw Potemkin in there as well.
There you go.
No, Potemkin was one of my favorites. So once I learned how to play as him, I was ruthless with that character.
That design is just so cool.
Yeah. What? What happened?
Magic happened.
Oh man!
So we're gonna continue to talk about Guilty Gear Third Sign, or how.
Does that have a release date yet?
No, they're testing it at arcades now, and they keep announcing there's 8 characters that are announced. It's those 4, and then Melia, and then the 2 main characters, Soul and the blue guy.
Kai.
Kai, yeah. Thank you.
Kai Kisuke, whatever.
Kai Kisuke.
Yeah. So since we're the only podcast that probably the only podcast that likes Guilty Gear, we will continue to talk about this game until it's out, and then talk about it forever.
I see a trip. I got to get my passport. I see a trip to Japan.
Yeah, let's go try it out.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, it looks so good. I can't believe it.
I'm so excited.
I'm
excited to see Venom too.
Venom, you know what's funny about Venom? Looks exactly the same.
I know. He doesn't have to look. That character is too cool looking to begin with.
Yeah.
Yeah, he kind of is.
Another thing to get excited about is the possibility of Left 4 Dead 3 coming out.
Yes.
So, rumors have always...
You can finally stop talking about it during the Monday night.
Yeah, rumors have always been flying around, of course, about Half-Life 3, but also about Left 4 Dead 3, since 1 and 2 came out so quickly back to back. But a Dota 2 tour group took a picture of Valve's internal source control. It looked like they basically had a giant monitor showing all the recent code check-ins, where this line was captured. In brackets, it says Source 2, which is also new, restored L4D3's dev test unit test, ran locally 6 times without an assert. There may be The image cuts off. That seems pretty legitimate.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like if they're running on Git, then it's probably in the Source 2 branch that they're committing stuff.
Yeah.
And whatever they're asserting, I don't care.
I'm asserting
it ran locally 6 times. I'm so excited.
Yeah. So, normally we wouldn't report on Half-Life 3, Left 4 Dead 3 Source 2 rumors, because who knows if half this stuff is going to happen, but this one actually seemed pretty legitimate this time, so I'm allowing myself to start possibly thinking about getting excited.
Well, we're excited 2 years too early.
Probably. But that's all the news stories we have, so let's take another quick break.
Cool. Ooh. Yeah, I saw that and I was just like, man. That's ridiculous. Ed Potemkin. What? What?
Oh god, it looks so badass.
How is he just not? What?
I am.
What?
I am. I have a feeling he lost his head.
Maybe.
Maybe.
He lost his head, but he's still that mechanized, gigantic monster thing. So,
I
Yeah.
love it.
with big, strong hands. I'm excited. Like I want to play Guilty Gear right now.
Hell yeah.
Some of
Yeah.
my favorite memories in gaming are sitting playing in that game.
Yeah. I
mean-
really, really hope they bring back. God, what was that dude's name? Faust.
Oh, they're gonna bring Faust
You
back.
can't not have Faust.
Yeah.
He would look insane in that new engine.
Oh yeah.
Faust, Johnny. I can't wait to play as Johnny.
Like,
Yeah. Yeah. I
Because
really.
you know what's coming next.
so many slashes. All right, you guys ready to do the last segment here?
Absolutely.
All right, starting in 3, 2, 1. Let's talk about some emails.
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 Late Elf writes in and says, "Hello, excellent gentlemen and knobs.
Why am I excluded from that list?
With the rumor of Left 4 Dead 3 making the rounds of gaming media, I have to ask, is Knobs nervous/salivating? Does he feel his streak is at risk? And when we start the betting pool for how long it'll last, my money's on 3 weeks." You're just getting put on hot blast on this email.
It's unreal. Like, you should have heard them on Monday night. It was brutal.
Man. You just can't let them down. Once a winner, always a winner.
That's right.
They have your TVGP
I'm a
rookie card.
champion.
He says, as ever, keep up the good work, and don't worry, Knobs. We'll get some UT2K4 back in the mix for Thursday nights. We haven't forgotten you.
Nice.
Velux writes in and says, Dear TVG peeps, I've listened to you guys for years. Your show is wunderbar. But it wasn't until not too long ago that I noticed TVGP TVGP began to fall under the E1M1 network. I was wondering if Boston is over it, and if you have any plans or future shows in the network. Yes, I am the founder, CEO, and a club member of E1M1 Network. And right now it's just TVGP, PUP, and Dynamic Soundtrack. If I get more time, I would like to extend it into other things, but I can't share with you my industry secrets. And he says, P.S. Fun fact, a buttload equates to 126 gallons. So, now you know.
Fair enough.
And our last email here is from Chris H. Hey, TVGP, it's Chris, a.k.a. haven't joined the forums yet, Angel Eye in chat. Listening to the backlog of TVGP episodes has inspired me to create my own top 10 list this year. Don't forget about our top 10 list sharing thing in the forums every year.
Yep.
This is proving problematic of the 14 games I have started this year. I've only finished 3, so you sort of have 2 problems going on at once.
Yeah.
So to help motivate myself, I've decided to share my thoughts and experiences as I play through these games with your wonderful community. Much appreciated.
Yeah.
Now for a question, as this year marks the end of a generation, will you be making a top 10 or 20 games of the generation list along with your top 10 lists this year? Love the show. Keep up the good work. Probably not, because that would probably take me the rest of the year to figure out 5 games.
I would have an easier time figuring out PS3 or the PlayStation brand tops for
Yeah.
me. Trying to figure out what's my favorite of all time on the 360, that's gonna be tough.
Forget about it.
Oh, yeah, that would have to be a solid week of just like thinking about that and
Yeah.
trying to figure out what. Oh man,
Fighting
and like
with yourself.
and remembering what you've played.
Yeah. I mean, I would have to go back through and look at the entire achievement list that I have on Xbox.com and
Yeah.
just go through each and every game.
Well, it would have to be anything that would be probably 500 achievement points and up at that point to figure out what
Yeah.
you really loved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nope, not even gonna.
Even
Don't-
that's still hundreds of games.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I've played. I'm not logged into Xbox Live or else I've played hundreds and hundreds. It's over 350 games on my
Wow.
360. So like, how
That's a
would I
lot.
even pick even 20? You know, that question's too hard. I don't like it. We're done with it.
Well,
Actually,
what's
we're done.
I mean, do you have the Raptor widget on the forums?
I think. Let me pull
Yeah, I
up my
think you do.
Raptor here. It says I have 670 games overall. Here we go. Game collection. We're just gonna pad the time a little bit.
Yeah.
No big deal. I don't remember where it is on Raptor to.
Well, yeah. Right now I have 300 games in my collection right now.
It says
Like that-
670 in my collection, but that includes a lot of stuff. I
Yeah.
don't remember where to find in the Raptor interface for showing that cool chart where it's like this many games on this platform.
Oh, I think that's just. I think you gotta go to the website for that.
Yeah, I'm there, but I don't remember. I'll find it.
Oh, yeah, it's about under your profile.
Well, I will find that here directly. Okay. Xbox is 365 games. PSN is 65 games.
Wow. Let's see where mine's at.
So
Mine's
that's a
Xbox.
lot of games.
Yeah, mine is Xbox is 160, PSN 11, and PC 185.
Yeah, my PC is. It says it's 307, which is
Every Steam
not
game
really
you have.
correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it gives you like the breakdown of like, are you experienced, dedicated, hardcore, elite? I'm elite in 15 games. That makes me feel kind of good.
I'm elite in 34. Can I click on this
Ooh.
and see which ones they are? Oh yeah, Rogue
Yes, you
Legacy,
can.
Borderlands 2, Darksiders 2, Symphony of the Night, FTL, Bioshock Infinite. You know, all the games that I've talked about too much. Crackdown 1, Forza 2.
Alpha Protocol over
There
here.
you go.
XCOM, Skyrim, Fallout New Vegas. How did I manage that?
Guitar Hero 2. There you go.
Nice.
I'm still not beating Brad. Viva Pinata, because of course.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's all of our emails and tweets here. If you want to visit us, you can do so at tvgp.tv, email us at tvgpfans@gmail.com, tweet us at tvgp, everything else on the right-hand page. Blah, blah, blah.
Oh, don't forget to join your forums. Please don't forget to mark yourselves on the map. Join us for Monday Night Game Night, 10 p.m. EST, and Steam Game Night, or PC Game Night, or aptly should call. That's also at 10 p.m. EST on Thursday nights.
Now, don't forget that this month's TVGP Game Club game is Ghostbusters. And I meant to play it, but I kind of got lost in Sleeping Dogs. My bad.
No one can fault you. And don't forget to watch, if you enjoy this stupid show and you haven't watched our really stupid live stream, you can do so at twitch.tv/E1M1 Network.
Yeah.
If you can't catch it live, we do it every Sunday at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern. If you can't catch it live, we do archive it there, and we do archive it on the YouTube channel. So go check that out. And that's all we got, so we'll see you all next week.
Peace.
Laters.
Adios.
So, right in perfect timing, I just pulled up my Elite games.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, so Left 4 Dead 2, Borderlands 2, Unreal Tournament, and granted, that's only just recently what I've been playing of it.
Right.
DOA 5, Hexic HD,
Of course.
Dead Space 3, Lollipop Chainsaw, Lumines, of course,
Yeah, I got Luminous on mine as well.
Pinball Hall of Fame, Seen It, Box Office Smash Edition, Crackdown, and Left 4 Dead 1.
Nice.
Nice.
How is Crackdown 2 not on there?
Weird.
There it is.
Wait, hold on, no, next page.
Continuing.
There it is.
Res HD, Tiger Woods 07, Sonic, the Ultimate Genesis Collection, Overlord. I forgot that.
I had Overlord on my list too, and I was like, did I really play that much Overlord?
Apparently, I'm elite at Fuel. There's Crackdown 2 and Wipeout HD.
Nice.
Wow.
All right.
All right, titles. I've got 3.
All
I've
right,
got
what do you
the
got?
one, my train game.
Yeah, I have Train Game on mine. I have Mr. 78.
I got Mr. 78 as well.
Which I should probably just circle it right now. And everything ran better in DOS.
Yeah, I got a whole bunch. Let's list these off. So I've got Like It Does, Mr. 78. How about that host advantage? You can't force dog mode. Demon prototypes. It shoots way too fast. Uber. Hardier gamers than I. The Hannah effect. Because it hates you. Tropey. Crazy 14-year-old kids. It stands for something stupid. People don't say those things. I wish this game was bad. Streets of Rage with a wizard. 7 layers of muscle. You're the worst friend ever. Once a winner, always a winner. And industry secrets.
I think we have to pick Mr. 78.
Even though it wasn't said, I think Wizards of Rage would probably be pretty good.
That would be pretty good. I'm gonna take that for my band's next album name.
Wizards of Rage.
I'm picking Mr. 78 because I like that a lot.
That's a good one.
All right, starting in 3, 2, 1. This is That Video Game Podcast, episode 303 for August 12th, 2013. Mr. 78.
Domaru, start that clock.
It's a heck of a percentage.
And we're done.
All right.
So we can
record
stop.
that shiz and upload that shiz. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining us on the live stream this week. Hope to see you and more next week. Bye.
Bye.